Hello everyone, with the Jamaica here. Welcome to this updated video on the weather across Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean. It is Monday evening, September 1, 2025. Now before we jump into it, please ensure that you all like this video. I'd really appreciate it if you all get this video to 100 likes. If you don't know by now, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. We all like the video and then the YouTube algorithm pushes the video out to more persons who are in the path of these tropical systems so that we can keep everyone safe, especially during the peak months of Atlantic hurricane season, that's August through to October. Share this video with your friends, your co-workers, your relatives, and even your church brethren, and subscribe if you haven't yet done so. Please ensure that you all utilize the progress bar that's located at the bottom of the video, as well as the timestamps that are located not only in the comment section, but the video description, so that you can skip to the points in the video that you want to see the most in order to save time, because we know that the videos over here with the Jamaica can be very long. Leave a comment down below letting me know what the that's been like in your year recently. Also, feel free to ask any weather related question that you might have about the future of the weather in your specific area. Taking a look at the U.S. National Hurricane Center 7-day graphical tropical weather look that just came out at 6:18 p.m. Jamaica time, we can see that we still have that code orange right here off the coast of Africa that has a medium chance of development as it heads across the main development region within the next 7 days. And if we take a look at the infrared right here, we can see the cloud showers and thunderstorms associated with it right here. Not really looking that impressive at this time, but the more it pushes west, it's definitely going to be looking even more formidable as it develops. Regarding the latest here from the Hurricane Center about this area, they've stated a tropical wave located over the far eastern tropical Atlantic south of the Cabo Verde Islands is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Environmental conditions appear conducive for gradual development of this system, and a tropical depression could form by the middle or latter part of this week. This system is expected to move westward to west-northwestward at around 15 miles per hour across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic throughout the week. And we see that they've given the area a 10% chance of cyclone formation within the next 2 days and a 60% chance of cyclone formation within the next 7 days. And if we actually take a look at the Euro and the GFS supercomputer models at the end of the next 7 days, or well, almost the end of the next 7 days. So this is valid for 6Z on Monday, September 8th, so that's about 1 a.m. And the Euro has the system right here as a 999 millibar system. Definitely a strong tropical wave, if not a low-end hurricane at that time. What does the GFS show for the same time period? 1 a.m. on Monday, September 8th. The GFS is still a bit stronger and more so to the north and to the northeast of where the Euro has it. So clearly, the Euro is a bit faster and weaker, pushing it more westward. The GFS is a bit, slightly slower and stronger. 994 millibars is what we see here. Definitely up to hurricane status for sure. We'll see it actually plays out. As of right now, we're 100% sure that there's going to be something formulating, because both the Euro and the GFS models are showing something out there. And clearly, they don't really have a handle on where it's expected to go. Most of them seem to be taking it out to sea, but the Euro definitely taking more of that southern and westward trek. We have to see exactly what unfolds as we head into the coming week. Taking a look at the surface map of the Atlantic for this evening, there's a tropical wave right here across the Western Caribbean into Central America, another tropical wave right here to the northeast of South America, and that tropical wave that just came off of the coast of Africa that has a medium chance of development within the next 7 days. And if we take a look at the visible satellite images of the Atlantic before we lost sunlight, we can make out the clouds, the showers and thunderstorms, more so affecting sections of Nicaragua into Costa Rica associated with that tropical wave. There is another tropical wave right in here just to the northeast of South America, like what the surface map showed, and that other tropical wave that just exited the coast of Africa that should be pushing towards the west. All of these entities, as you can see, are being steered from east to west, all courtesy of the ridge of high pressure to the north. We'll be talking more about the rest of the Caribbean weather later on. Let us focus our attention on the prediction that was made in yesterday's video about the weather across Jamaica for today, Monday, September 1, 2025. It was stated that rainfall could have been in the forecast for parts of some eastern, central, and western parishes during Monday afternoon. And we know eastern parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Surrey, like Portland, St. Thomas, Kingston, and St. Andrew. Central parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Middlesex, like St. Anne, St. Mary, Manchester, Clarendon, and St. Catherine. All western parishes, we're talking about those parishes in the county of Cornwall, like Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, Westmoreland, and St. Elizabeth. And what ended up happening? At around 4:55 p.m., the infrared satellite imagery was posted not only here on our Twitter page over the Jamaica, but it was also posted on our Instagram page over the Jamaica, on our TikTok page over the Jamaica, and on our Facebook page over the Jamaica 876. So if you have one of those social media platforms, please ensure that you follow us there as we make posts throughout the day that you can't afford to miss. So we can see all of the clouds that built up mainly across sections of some central and western parishes, but some eastern parishes gotten on some of the action. We're talking about sections of Portland, into section of St. Andrew, definitely gotten on the thunderstorm activity. And if we take a look back at the visible, we can see where we had all of that convection bursting, especially across the central to the western end of the island. Northern parishes getting in on a lot of it for sure. And all of the activity not really shared off in any direction. Definitely some weak wind shear across the area. And the infrared definitely shows it even better. All of these greens, yellows, oranges, reds representing that cumulonimbus cloud cover. Even the blacks in there that represents that deep convection. And we even see the sparkling white dots in there that we know represent some amount of lightning strikes, if not lightning flashes. And we can definitely see that it was especially across inland areas of some southern parishes and sections of some northern parishes. We're talking about sections of St. Andrew, section of northern St. Catherine, sections of northern Clarendon, northern Manchester, section of St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Hanover, southern St. James, southern Trelawney, into sections of central to southwestern St. Anne. Definitely got the brunt of today's thunderstorms for sure. And we definitely have confirmation right here, the live camera here from C Jamaica's YouTube channel, showing the Barbican area in St. Andrew. They were definitely getting on some moderate to heavy rainfall at that time. We can see the windshield wipers definitely on. Strong winds as well with that rainfall. I'm pretty sure that they're grateful for the rainfall that took place today. This was at around 15:20, that's 3:20 p.m. today in the Barbican St. Andrew area. Definitely a nice little cool down for the upper St. Andrew area. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to see more live streams like this, just visit C Jamaica on YouTube. They have these live streams all for you all to view for free. So subscribe today to this channel so that you don't miss out. And even the total accumulated precipitation for the past 24 hours from the Caribbean Institute for Meteorology and Hydrology website is confirming where we had that rainfall today across sections of some eastern, central, and western parishes for sure. And we have some comments from some of our followers letting us know where got rainfall today, if they actually got rainfall. We have L Mulan stating it's cloudy, no rain, a bit of thunder, and still very hot. Wishing rain will fall and cool down the heat here in Buff Bay. We know that's in Portland. Also on our Instagram page, we had the Game Changer 876 stating more rain please. We have Portmore Bill _ stating like a town, get everything, because all Portmore get was low on heat. Also have Realm _ JA stating Portmore didn't get a thing as usual. So we have Handpicked Jamaica stating enough rain. Kingston, we have one Ryan _ stating cloudy in Hanover with thunder. We had R _ Mona _ GH _ CA stating had a lot of rain in Kingston. We also have Clear.M Camp stating Gardentown, Mona, rain fell and thunder. Thank you for confirming what the weather is like in your area. And we even have some comments here on our TikTok page. We had Miss Pretty stating no rain, St. Elizabeth. Katie and Martin in St. Catherine Central Village today. Place was hot. Then we get dark clouds but no rain. Place feel cool. Well, that's a plus side. Alright. So we're going to be reloading the very latest still image from the Weather Nerds website, the latest still image from the Jamaican Doppler radar website, the latest still image from the Cuban Doppler radar site, the Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar site, as well as the Cayman radar site to confirm what's taking place right now. Alright, so the latest still image from the Weather Nerds website is showing 23:45 UTC, which is actually 7:45 p.m. So this just came out 14 minutes ago, considering that it is 6:59 p.m. right now. As you can see, we still have some leftover clouds across sections of some central and western parishes associated with what's left of today's thunderstorms. We don't see any sparkling white dots in there, just some leftover high cloud, maybe some light rainfall, if not moderate rainfall, taking place within some of that as we speak. Unfortunately, the Jamaican Doppler radar cannot confirm because we see that it glitched out. The Cuban Doppler radar seems like it had a massive glitch out today as well. So we're not working with that. It's also showing August 31 and today is September 1, so it's a bit behind. The Guantanamo Bay US Navy radar showing some rainfall here and there across southeastern Cuba, northwestern Haiti. Can't make out anything across northeastern Jamaica though. But the Cayman radar, I have to be depending on this one. The Cayman radar actually showing some of that rainfall in the blues right here, some light rainfall into some moderate rainfall. Definitely confirming what we're seeing here on the latest still image from the Weather Nerds website. So these clouds are definitely showing that, well, the Doppler radar is definitely showing that we're receiving some rainfall underneath some of these clouds. Even though there's not much in the way of lightning taking place, we can also see some rainfall across central Cuba and some rainfall to the south of the Cayman Islands at this time. Regarding what's taking place now, the live camera right here from C Jamaica's YouTube channel is showing downtown Kingston as of right now. That's 1900 hours, 7 p.m. As you can see, people walking about, going about their business. Nothing in the way of bad weather taking place at this time. And that should be the order of the evening into the night. Taking a look at the temperatures right now, we can see that we have 29 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 28 degrees Celsius in Kingston, and by about 4 a.m. on Tuesday, temperature should dip down to about 26 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 25 degrees Celsius in Kingston. Taking a look at the temperature forecast for tomorrow. This map from the GFS is valid for 18Z on Tuesday, which is actually 1 p.m. on Tuesday, and we can see Jamaica right here, embedded in the yellows and the slight oranges that represents at least up to at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperature. I know the normal temperature for the month of September across Jamaica is almost 90 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about 32.2 degrees Celsius. And given that we're going to be receiving up to at least 1 degree Celsius above normal temperature tomorrow, it should be anywhere from 32.2 to 33.2 degrees Celsius at most for Jamaica's temperature on Tuesday. And we have at least one maintenance outage advisory here from my JPS online Twitter page that we have to highlight. I know that we have to highlight this because we know that when we have power outages somewhere across the island, it can definitely make the heat feel even worse because we don't have our fan or AC to cool us down. So if you live or work in these areas, or if you have friends or relatives who live or work in these areas, please let them know that the power outage is coming their way on Tuesday, September 2, 2025. We're referring to Warminster in the parish of St. Elizabeth from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. And we have some tips right here to beat the heat as usual. It stays here. Seek shade when outside. Eat fresh. Try eating cold foods such as salads and fruits. Rest. Make sure you get enough sleep and rest if you're feeling tired. Soak. Take a cool shower or bath to help you cool down. And I cannot stress enough the importance of staying hydrated throughout the day. Drink lots of water even if you're not thirsty. And put away those sugar drinks and drink water instead. Taking a look at the dry air map, we can see that the dry air is represented by what we see here on the key on the bottom. The yellows, the oranges, the reds, and the whites within those reds. We see a lot of dry air extending all the way from Africa across portion of the main development region. But we're starting to see some breaks within some of this dry air across the Caribbean. That's what we want to see. We want it to get more like this across the southwestern Atlantic into the Gulf and on around Central America and the Intertropical Convergence Zone. You notice where we have the moist air, that's where we have most of the clouds and the grays. That's what we want more of across this era into the central to the eastern Caribbean, so that we get more clouds to bring us rainfall to keep water in our pipes. But regarding the Saharan dust forecast for the next 3 days, so we're heading into September 2, September 3, and September 4. And as you can see, Jamaica should be in the clear for the next 3 days. Nothing in the way of crazy Saharan dust coming through, even although we have a plume coming from Africa as we speak, pushing through the main development region as we head into September 4, eventually making it to the eastern Caribbean by maybe September 5, if not September 6. And if we take a look here, At the wave forecast for tomorrow, we can clearly see that we're still in for some of the light shades of blues to dark shades of blues. That represents anywhere from 0.5 meter wave height to 1, maybe up to 1.5 meter wave height, as we hear from the key on the bottom right. And that's because of the winds that are expected across the Caribbean into the Gulf. We see it averaging anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15, maybe even gusting up to 20 knots, especially right here to the north of Colombia. But regarding Jamaica's wave forecast for tomorrow, to the north of Portland, 0.6 of a meter wave height, 0.4 of a meter wave height to the north of St. Anne. Same thing to the north of Hanover. To the south of Westmoreland, 0.5 of a meter wave height expected tomorrow, 0.8 of a meter wave height to the south of Clarendon. While to the south of St. Thomas, the same thing. And that's because of the winds that are expected tomorrow. We see more of an easterly flow for sure. And we see the winds maybe averaging up to 12 knots from the east to the south of St. Thomas, 10 knots from the east to the north of Portland, to the south of the border of Manchester and St. Elizabeth, from the east 12 knots as well. And we also see the least amount of winds somewhere up here, maybe across some northern and western parishes. That's where some of these low-level clouds could become mid-level rain clouds, if not upper-level cumulonimbus clouds, to bring us some daytime heating rainfall. And tomorrow's upper level winds are definitely a bit stronger, coming in from the northeast tomorrow because of that strong upper level high pressure across the southeastern Gulf right here. So it's going to be bringing more of those upper level winds from the northeast across the island. So if we actually get some thunderstorms to formulate across the island tomorrow, the cloud tops would be sheared off towards the southwest, all because of that upper level wind shear. And regarding the actual rainfall forecast maps, this map from the Euro and this map from the GFS are both valid for 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 7 a.m. Jamaica time. And we do see that rainfall across the far eastern end, maybe eastern St. Thomas, eastern Portland, on both the Euro and the GFS models right here. Then by afternoon, this is around 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is actually 3 p.m. Jamaica time. We see some rainfall across eastern, central, and western parishes on the Euro. The GFS is more so some northern and western parishes. Interesting. I'm more inclined to believe what the GFS is showing because it has a better track record with the afternoon rainfall. So look out for that rainfall if you reside in sections of St. Elizabeth, northern St. Elizabeth at that, section of Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, section of St. Mary into western Portland, maybe even sections of some northern portions of St. Andrew getting in on some of the afternoon rainfall as well. And even the total accumulated precipitation forecast maps here from the Euro and the GFS are in agreement that it's going to be raining somewhere in Jamaica from now up until 10 p.m. on Tuesday. Not saying that's going to be raining from now up until then, but within that time frame there's going to be rain. The Euro going up to at least 0.41 of an inch of rainfall. The GFS going up to at least 0.46 of an inch of rainfall. And we know that it could be more than that, it could be less than that, so take these forecasts with a grain of salt. And whatever happens, we'll definitely take it because we're in the month of September now. And in Kingston, whose bar graph is being shown right here at the top, we usually see maybe around 90 millimeters of rainfall in the month of September for Kingston. That's about 3.5 inches of rainfall. In Montego Bay, we usually receive close to maybe 6.5, close to 7 inches of rainfall for the month of September. And I would like for you to keep in mind that if you'd like to find out what your specific parish usually receives in terms of rainfall for the month of September or for the entire year, you can visit weatherandclimate.com and that website to show you that information. And you can use this nice graphic right here that converts rainfall from inches to millimeters. We know that 1 inch of rainfall is about the same as 25 millimeters of rainfall. Alright, so we're going to be looking at what the next 7 days have in store for us according to the latest Euro and GFS supercomputer model runs that came out today. So keep your eyes focused on the timestamp right here at the top as we go to the next 168 hours. That stands for the next 7 days. Keep your eyes focused on Jamaica right here as we look for all of this that we see on the key on the right. That's the reds, the oranges, the yellows, and the greens that represents inches of rainfall. So let's see what's going to be taking place. Alright, so we just looked at Tuesday's forecast. Now it is time to look at Wednesday. We can clearly see some dots of greens that represent rainfall to the north of us, to the east of us, to the south of us. Then on Wednesday afternoon, we see some rainfall across some central and western parishes on the Euro. Do we have the same thing being shown on the GFS? Well, clearly we see by 12 on Wednesday, which is actually 7 a.m., We see some rainfall to the east of us. We also see some rainfall across some western parishes. What does the afternoon look like? Well, looks like we have some rainfall across some central and western parishes on Wednesday. What do we see for Thursday morning? On Thursday morning, we see some rainfall across the far western end of the island on the Euro. Then on Thursday afternoon, we see some rainfall across some eastern, central, and western parishes on the Euro. What does the GFS show? Thursday morning, not really much of anything across Jamaica. Thursday afternoon, rainfall across some eastern, central, and western parishes. What do we see on Friday morning on the Euro? On Friday morning, maybe some rainfall to the southwest of us across the far eastern end as well. Friday afternoon, we see some rainfall across some eastern, central, and western parishes. What does the GFS show? Friday morning, maybe some rainfall across the far eastern end. Friday afternoon, we see some rainfall mainly across some central and western parishes. What do we see on Saturday morning? On Saturday morning, not really showing much of anything. On Saturday afternoon, we see some rainfall across some central and western parishes. What does the GFS show? Saturday morning, not really much of anything. Saturday afternoon, rainfall across some central and western parishes. What do we see on Sunday morning? On Sunday morning, maybe some rainfall across the far eastern end. Then on Sunday afternoon, look at that, rainfall across some eastern, central, and western parishes. And we're stopping it right here at the end of the 168 hours. So this is valid for 12Z on Monday, September 8th. So that's 7 a.m. We see some rainfall to the east of us across the southern end of the island. Interesting. What does the GFS show? Sunday morning, maybe some rainfall across the far eastern end. Sunday afternoon, rainfall across mainly central and western parishes. And just like the year, we're stopping it at the end of the 168 hours. That's Monday, September 8th as well. First of all, look at the abundance of moisture extending from the eastern to the central and western Caribbean. That's very interesting. It looks like it's going to be getting even wetter the more we head into September. We're also seeing some rainfall across some eastern, northern, and western parishes on Monday afternoon. As a matter of, yes, it's eastern, central, and western parishes getting in on the brunt of the rainfall. Very interesting. We'll take it. Whatever happens, we'll definitely take it. Even the total accumulated precipitation forecast maps here from the Euro and the GFS that are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Monday, September 8th are showing the rainfall totals that are expected in the yellows, oranges, reds, even some slight purples, extending from the Greater Antilles into the Lesser Antilles, maybe up to 1 inch, maybe up to 2 inches, or maybe 3 inches of rainfall expected for us. And we see even more rainfall wherever we have the dark reds into the purples and the pinks. That's where we have some crazy rainfall totals, maybe up into the close to 5 inches of rainfall proportion to Florida into the Bahamas, so to Northern and South America into Central America. Very interesting forecast. And we see that both the Euro and the GFS models are in agreement with that. But regarding Jamaica's rainfall totals for the next 7 days, both maps right here from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until Monday, September 8th. And we're clearly going to be getting in on an increase in rainfall as we head through the next 7 days. And the Euro still showing the greens into the yellows into the slight oranges. That represents all the way up to maybe 58 millimeters of rainfall over here. The GFS getting up into those numbers as well, maybe 60 millimeters of rainfall, especially across some central western parishes. It's a very interesting forecast. It looks like some wetter days are ahead, and we will definitely take it. And whatever happens, I will definitely be here to keep you posted with whatever occurs. Taking a look at what's happening across the rest of the Caribbean, not really seeing much of anything. The usual afternoon thunderstorms across the of Hispaniola, Puerto Rico, Cuba, Jamaica, as you can see right there. And the moisture associated with that tropical wave off the coast of Africa, trying to get its act together at this time. But regarding what's happening down in here near Puerto Rico right now, we see some moisture, hit or miss showers. We see the greens, some light to moderate rainfall in and around the Leeward Islands. So too, section of eastern and central Puerto Rico. But if we load these Doppler radar images from earlier today, we definitely saw some decent, moderate to heavy rainfall across central to northwestern Puerto Rico. Regarding what's happening on the Barbados radar, we can make out some decent moisture in and around Barbados for sure. We see some of that pushing from east-west towards Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, right in here. We also see some moisture east of Trinidad and Tobago pushing westward as well. But regarding the weather via Doppler radar images, we can see some rainfall pushing from west to east to the south of Florida. Some rainfall right here across section of the Yucatan, northern Guatemala, sections of Colombia, that rainfall that we mentioned across the eastern Caribbean. And regarding where the rainfall is expected within the next 24 hours, both maps right here from the Euro and the GFS are showing all the rainfall that's expected from now up until 10 p.m. on Tuesday, and we can clearly see the greens into the yellows into the oranges and reds. That represents up to an inch or less of rainfall, and that is expected for sections of Florida into the Bahamas, section of Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, the US and British Virgin Islands, St. Martin, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and Grenadines, Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, section of Guyana, coastal Suriname, section of southern and western Venezuela, Colombia, Panama, Costa Rica, Nicaragua, section of Honduras, section of El Salvador, Guatemala into the Yucatan. And we clearly see that both Euro and the GFS models are in agreement with this forecast. Not really much being shown for Belize or the Cayman Islands at all. Regarding what's happening on the eastern Pacific side of things, we're still watching Tropical Storm Kiko. It became a storm yesterday, and to the east of Kiko, we still have that area that has a high chance of development, a 90% chance at that of becoming the next named system. If we take a look at the inferred, we can see both entities. Tropical Storm Kiko right here looking quite impressive, and the other system to the east of there almost looking like a tropical system already, trying to get its act together right here off the coast of Mexico. Not named yet by the Hurricane Center, but it is getting there. Regarding the name after Kiko, we know that is going to be Lorena. What the Hurricane Center is stating right now regarding Tropical Storm Kiko is that as of right now it is packing 65 mile per hour winds. You know that tropical storms usually pack anywhere from 39 to 73 mile per hour winds. So it's up there, medium range tropical storm at this time. Yesterday it was a low end tropical storm. We see that it is definitely strengthening. And the Hurricane Center has it becoming an H soon. So hurricane status is imminent as it pushes towards the west. As you can see here, it is expected to continue pushing westward, maybe even coming close to the Hawaiian Islands down the line. We'll see. As of right now, it's pushing towards west-southwest at 7 miles per hour. But regarding the western Pacific side of things, not really seeing much of anything, even although we have a code yellow right here to the east of the Philippines, same thing trying to develop within the next 7 days. We do see that deep moisture to the east of the Philippines associated with that, but nothing imminent at this time at all. It's going to be taking some time before it gets there. Alright, so that's it for today. Thanks for watching.